back in the air.
Oh, happy step back and kiss myself. Big time plays, big time plays. Woo!
Butler.
Get some. Step back. Kiss myself, Neil Funk. Woo! Sriracha!
And so it was Bulls analyst Stacey King going the entire repertoire on that Jimmy Butler game winner. He
pulled out all the tricks.
He used all the colors on the canvas for that one. Very, very nice. And we welcome you to our first feast of the year. And when it came time to looking at some of the teams this week, we could have gone Houston. That was natural. Or we could have gone maybe Washington. But instead, we chose, guys, to give some love to the Crescent City. And we're going to say the New Orleans Pelicans are team of the week. 4 straight wins, a 4-1 homestand. And suddenly, guys, very respectable. In fact, Anthony Davis actually used the word fun to describe their play of late. So it's great.
It is, Brent. I mean, you start off the season when you don't have any of your guards, guys who make things go. And for Anthony Davis, it puts a lot of pressure on the big guy. To have these guys back, and I know, buddy, he'll love having these playmakers so he can get a chance to knock down shots. Alvin Gentry, he don't have that scowl anymore, Brent. You know that look he has on the sideline where it looks like he's crying? Right now, he's smiling a little bit.
Unfortunately, all the guys on the team know that look as well as they got off to that 0-8 start. I mean, just horrific. But one thing that's interesting with those, you mentioned the homestand 4-1, Anthony Davis is playing the 5 now. And their roster, when people looked at the moves they made in the offseason for Hill and Cunningham to play minutes, they thought all of a sudden they've got a bunch of switchblade guys who maybe are positionless, but if they're playing defense and they're out on the wing and they're switching a lot and they're using that length, and then all of a sudden Drew Holiday can create, and they don't rely on half-court execution, but run the floor to try and get their points, they become a very difficult matchup, and Anthony Davis, the best running big that we have in the NBA. So nice to have some feel-good moments down in the Big Easy because it's been anything but for Alvin Gentry.
Well, no question. It's been a long road back for them, and they've gotten healthy as well. And a guy like Tyreek Evans comes in, gives them a different look. But most of all, it's not Anthony Davis looking at double and triple teams and trying to score through them. He's getting some help now as other guys are contributing.
Real quick, though, I want to say, and Smitty and I recognize the play of Langston Galloway and Tim Frazier. When you have guys that are like going through the mud that way, when your team starts to get healthy, there's so much more of an appreciation for what it is that those guys represented for the time that they struggled that you're going to get from Drew Holiday and certainly your coaching staff as the team builds some of that character through the season.
All right, Brent mentioned going to the smaller lineup. So now, Smitty, tell me something good regarding going a little bit smaller and how this has affected the Pelicans and what they're trying to do.
Well, it's giving them a lot of space, and especially Anthony Davis. And the commitment to go small has to be on Anthony Davis. He has to approve of playing the 5 because it's a lot of banging for him. But watch them offensively, how this has helped him. As you get a chance to see right now, you double team him, and I put out Darren Williams because he's checking Drew Holiday. You don't get a chance to see. So now with the double team, you have a 2-on-1 on the weak side. Dante Cunningham is a guy that doesn't shoot threes, and then you have Buddy Hield. He does the correct thing, cut to the basket, and you have a 5 guy that can make those type of plays. Now you get a chance to see a little misdirection. More, I want to freeze it right here. A great pick. You got to be able to set screens to make this play work. Brandon Jennings, you must get over there. If you don't get over there, that makes Porzingis a guy that's stuck in the mud. Carmelo, you have to pre-rotate all the way over. If you don't, if you did, I mean, your pass would have went to Dante Cunningham. You would live with that. But because they don't rotate all over, the spacing is great. Anthony Davis gets a layup, so you have him playing with more space. Now, with the addition of Tyreek Evans is back, you look right here, the Miami Heat is probably waiting for a pick and roll. Because of his ability, he played point, but you can put the ball in his hand because of his strength. You can play him at the 4 or the 3. He breaks down the defense. The name of the game is to get it in the paint, break down the defense, and Dante Cunningham is a guy who just knows how to play. One of those guys, he's not going to beat you for a lot of flash, but he does the right things and makes the right cuts, and he understands. Some of the guys in the league, they don't understand their strengths and their weaknesses. Dante Cunningham knows I'm going to shoot a 3 from the corner, or I'm going to drive and get it back at the basket that way, or I'm going to cut.
Nice to see it because Anthony Davis, in the first few weeks of the season, there was a lot of talk about him lamenting being in New Orleans and what was he going to do to handle it. He's kind of waited the storm out. He's sat on it, and now with the health of this team, they're starting to create a little bit of a buzz down there.
Like I said, he said it's fun now. The pace has been better for them, and defensively with a smaller lineup, they can switch. And so a lot of good things happening for the Pelicans and good for Alvin Gentry and company. All right, now our player of the week. And we usually have 3 different players of the week, but let's face it.
We know
we're going to go full on beard.
Hey.
Right across the board.
He is three different players.
He is. So then, in effect, we're basically saying the same. It is James Harden, and what he has put together has been just remarkable. Beards for everyone. And Saturday, he peppered the Knicks with an epic, never-before-seen type game. 50, 15, and 15.
What a New Year's treat for all of those in attendance. But how about in December, James Harden? 28 points per game, 12 assists per game, 9 assists per game, 1.5 steals, and the Houston Rockets have their best December in their franchise's history, capped off with that. I mean, I have to say, I told Smee this. I was out for New Year's. I looked at my phone, buzzed because I get the updates. Mm-hmm. I see the numbers, and I went, oh man, somebody's been drinking in the statistical place and threw out the wrong things for this game. Then I dug into a little bit and saw those numbers, Smitty. I was just amazed at. So congratulations to James Harden on an incredible game and an incredible month.
And you look at the ball is in his hands even more. Last year, about 6.3 minutes, now 8.9 minutes, and you can see he's having fun. But playing in space for him is fantastic. I'm impressed. We know he can score the basketball, but I'm impressed, Brent and Vince, the way he's seeing guys and seeing the plays early. I thought last year, dribbling the basketball, he made plays, but now he's letting the play develop and he's seeing where it's going. Right now, it's not, I'm looking at Brent, he understands where guys are and it's fun to him. A lot of times guys are score. It's not fun to see other guys score. I think right now he's having fun watching other guys score the basketball and make others better. And that's the name of the game. If you want to win, you can put up big numbers, but if you want to win, you got to make teammates better when you're the best player. And his commitment to rebounding the basketball, if he defended, he's the best player in the world. If he wants to get on that other end and defend, that's coming. You can't have it all. Can't have it all yet.
No, it's just incredible. Eighth triple-double. He had a career best in three-pointers made, and this career high in points.
In my book, he's MVP.
And he's made Houston, as we sit, he's made Houston elite.
That is right. They were the number one offense this month, sixth best in terms of their defense. I mean, that's pretty good. Out of 30 teams, they're in a good position, and they put together a massive December.
And just to button this, his teammate Ryan Anderson said of that big game against the Knicks, it was effortless. He made it look very effortless in that game. And
Ryan Anderson's loving him, kicking it out.
He is. So James Harden's feeding everybody. It's on him. The bill goes to James Harden. He's feeding his team, us, everything. He's the feast guy. And that's going to do it for this week.